Opening scene. Moody background, showing a desolate road that leads to an old gas station with dim lights flickering. Narrator: if you're still with me, brace yourselves, because these stories might just make you rethink late-night trips to the gas station. Here are 4 unnerving gas station horror stories brought back to life. Animated. Let's dive in. First story, The Silent Attendant. Scene: a lone traveler pulls into an old gas station late at night, the only sound being the soft hum of crickets and the distant wind. The station looks worn down, and an eerie orange light spills from an open window. Narrator: this first story comes from a man named Greg, who's never been able to forget one visit to a gas station. It was almost midnight when his car's gas meter flashed empty. Spotting an old gas station on the side of the road, he felt a surge of relief. Little did he know that relief would be short-lived. Animation shows Greg stepping into the gas station's mini-mart. The bell chimes as the door creaks open. The store shelves, coated in a thin layer of dust, are filled with generic items, cans without names, faded candies. Narrator: behind the counter stood an attendant, motionless. The man didn't react when Greg entered, stone still, like a statue. Greg jokingly said, "Tough day, huh?" The man didn't flinch, didn't blink, didn't do anything. Feeling unnerved, Greg made his purchase and hustled back to his car. That's when he saw him, or it, again. Scene transitions to Greg driving away. A shadowy figure stands at the roadside with the same lifeless face as the attendant, staring as Greg speeds past. Narrator: Greg swears it was the same attendant. Whether it was a ghost or a strange trick of the mind, he doesn't care to find out. Second story, reflections that should not exist. Scene: 2 friends, Maria and Jody, stop by a remote gas station during a road trip. The night sky is pitch black, the gas station's fluorescent lights buzzing incessantly. Narrator: our second story involves 2 friends on a road trip. Maria and Jody were heading cross-country when their gas ran low. They stopped at a quiet station, but oddities immediately stood out. For one, there were no reflective surfaces anywhere. Not on the car's rearview mirrors, not even the station windows. Scene fades into them walking into the station. The mirrored glass above the counter reflects something wrong. Narrator: Jody noticed the station's mirrors gave off warped images, a glimpse of ghostly figures moving in sync with them but not entirely matching their motions. Something was off. Animation shows Maria turning to leave with Jody following, but her hands freeze, realizing her own reflection is no longer synced with her movements. The reflection smirks before fading entirely. Narrator: to this day, Maria avoids mirrors altogether, just in case. Third story, The Endless Fill-Up. Scene: a young man named Samuel pulls up to a gas pump late at night. He inserts the nozzle and sets it to fill. Minutes pass, then 10 minutes, 15. The pump keeps going, though his tank should be full by now. Narrator: our third tale comes from Samuel, a delivery driver returning from a late shift. With an almost empty tank, he had no choice but to stop at this eerie gas station. That's when strange things began to unfold. Scene exaggerates the gas meter's price rolling up infinitely, while the tank indicator in the car doesn't budge. Narrator: when he stepped out to investigate, the gallon counter read over 100 gallons, and his perfectly standard car tank hadn't even passed the halfway point. Confused, Samuel glanced around. He noticed someone, or something, watching him from the wooded area just beyond the station. Scene flashes a shadowy humanoid figure standing amidst the trees with glowing eyes. As Samuel yanks out the pump, thick black liquid spills to the ground, oozing between cracks in the asphalt. He speeds away in panic. Narrator: Samuel has never driven that road again or paid the bill. Maybe because he knows the place was never going to send him one. Fourth story, out of service. Scene: a couple, Lisa and Kevin, are on a nighttime drive. They pull into a roadside gas station, but to their surprise, the pumps are labeled out of service, and the shop seems abandoned. Still, the lights buzz dimly overhead. Narrator: in our fourth and final story, Lisa and Kevin made a stop they'll forever regret. The gas station seemed off immediately, but they decided to try the pumps anyway. Growing impatient, Kevin walked toward the shop. That's when everything changed. Animation shows Kevin vanishing into thin air as he approaches the door, while Lisa, frozen in terror, sits in the car. A hand abruptly appears on the rear windshield, smudging it with what looks like wet ash. Narrator: Lisa snapped out of her fear and started the car, screaming for Kevin. In her rearview mirror, she caught sight of a shadowy figure dragging Kevin into the woods. She tried reversing to help him, but the smoky handprint on the glass grew red-hot, cracking it completely. Overwhelmed and terrified, she drove away and never looked back. Closing scene. Static fuzz overlays the scene with shadowy figures blinking in and out of frame. The gas station lights flicker until they finally go out. Narrator: do late-night drives still seem worth it? Perhaps next time, you'll think twice before stopping at that eerie lone gas station. Just remember, not every destination is what it seems. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Daily Scary Tales for your daily dose of fear and fascination. Dare to join us again